Thank you, Madam Chair. And I want to thank you for bringing this really important hearing before us today. As Mr. Bright said earlier, I'm a new member of Congress, and I've never been in elected office before. And I'm out there in the private sector running my business, and knowing that not everybody plays by the rules, but in my business we do, and thinking that, the government, whether it's federal, state, local, is there protecting my interests, both as a business person and as a citizen, to make sure that those who are not playing by the rules are somehow punished for this, and that our taxpayer dollars are not being used fraudulently, as obviously they are. I have so many questions here, but I'm sure my outrage is felt by many others, including those businesses who are doing the right thing and who are using this program for the right reasons, who may end up losing that privilege to use this program because of those people who've been cheating. I guess my question, Mr. Kutzer, Mr. Scheer, do you have any idea how much money of the taxpayer dollars has been lost since we had the first hearing?
Well, there's at least $25 million that was awarded to some of the 10 contractors we identified last July, including one of the most egregious cases, got a $23 million award subsequent to the July 2008 hearing. So I would consider that to be additional fraud by those same companies.
And what percentage, I know you've kind of talked about this before, but you've only touched a few companies, and the percentage of fraud that you think might be going on within this program?
I don't know that. I mean, we did not necessarily randomly sample. We actually picked certain areas that were vulnerable to the principal office and the 35% rule, although we weren't looking for the other thing about the subcontracting. So 50+% of what we looked at so far, I don't believe that's the likely majority of the companies are not eligible. However, it appears that there's been no real oversight for quite some time, and I think we have an admitted self-certification process for the first X number of years of this program, and they're trying to move from self-certification now to actually putting a program in place, which is why you have difficulty going from advocacy to enforcement.
I think that number would be very interesting, but it probably would be so scary. I'm not sure any of us would really want to. I think we'd want to know, but I just sitting here listening, I just wonder what that figure is. What that figure is over the course of this program. How much money of the taxpayer dollars has been fraudulently taken from us? I guess my concern, Mr. Hairston, as we go forward here, first of all, it's really become clear that the SBA did not do their due diligence from the last hearing to today. As we go forward, we also are looking at a fair amount of money going out from the recovery package to the SBA. And obviously, as a new member who voted for that package, who believes in that package, I'm very, very concerned about your agency's ability to monitor that money. Can you give me any reassurance about that?
Well, I think we are, in fact, doing our due diligence now as we go forward. We have done our due diligence on the cases that have been referred. We fully intend to aggressively do our due diligence on the cases that are being referred by the report that's released today. We expect that we will be meeting with the GAO and our IG and our general counsel within the next week or so to get the names of those companies so that we can start that process. And going forward, we will continue to implement procedures to further mitigate risk in the program. As I said before, we recognize that there's a huge risk here, and we also recognize that putting the proper protocols in place to address that will be an additional cost burden for this program, and we need to plan how we need to do that and what those resources really are.
And what kind of transparency are you going to have for us, for the American public?
For transparency for the American public in respect to, in terms of reporting?
I'd like to see transparency within this program, certainly as we go forward in terms of the recovery package, but I'd like to see some transparency so that we can...
That's something that we can certainly consider in this process, is how we can be very transparent in how we go about conducting ourselves in this matter.
Okay, I yield back. Thank you.